one last time before I get kicked out of the University of Washington Suzzallo and Allen Library, for exceeding the sound limits with a restriction described as low hum. Humans staring at light, changing light, fixing light, adjusting light, and watching light and seeing light and observing light all day. Humans who engineer light, who are called computer scientists. Computer scientists doing work with an object, a computer, a screen and monitor, and light. One last time. Light engineers. And so one last time, I had a rare form of bone cancer, from what I've learned. Chordoma, at the base of my skull. Years ago, I would have died. They've always surgically removed from what I've seen. The mass, the tumor. But until not so recently, doctors and surgeons and humans have figured out proton radiation therapy. A surgeon removes the tumor. A proton radiation therapy machine and now I have no chordoma. I'm in remission. And to make sense, and to be clear, I would have died, probably, most likely, from chordoma at the base of my skull, had there not been a computer with light, and especially a proton radiation therapy device. However, what's difficult has to do with suffering. I was ready to die. I told the doctor and I told my mother, I want to die. And they both said no. Right away I said, I want to die. I was homeless. I was a college graduate. I was previously accepted to teaching school for young adults, to teach high school, junior high, elementary school. A master's of teaching. But was so confused not only with the brain tumor and the cancer, but with where I was living in Washington State and Seattle. I had no money. nobody who really cared other than the mental health agency, Community House Mental Health Agency, who gave me a room in a house where I slept and lived. Who described me as having a disability. There was pain medicine available. The tumor was nearly ready to kill me and cause me death. But my mother and Dr. Manuel Ferreira Jr. refused to allow me to die. And what's difficult with suffering has to do with how little suffering I would have had choosing to die from the cancer in the brain tumor within a short amount of time. The tumor had went all the way front and back inside of my skull, pushing against my brainstem, pushing against my optical nerve. I had double vision, pushing against my pituitary gland. The mass was going to suffocate me, most likely, pushing into my brainstem. And there was pain medicine and hospice and people who would have helped me die with little pain. But what saved me, the computer and the light and the proton radiation therapy device, along with the brilliance of the neurosurgeon Dr. Manuel Ferreira Jr. are why I suffer now. And are what cause my suffering. Medical school won't accept me. I don't have the application and the intelligence and another candidate has on their resume. I can't sit in front of a computer all day and engineer light. I'm mildly autistic. I'm not a human who needs very much stimulation to have a reward. Almost none nowadays. To suffer less. And in Seattle, Washington, where I'm stuck, probably for the rest of my life until I die, and then I'll probably still be here. Dead. There's a near impossible task of finding a job, going to the job, going home to sleep in a place where I can live, a place where I can pay, or a place where I can afford, other than a tent and a shelter. A tent and a shelter, I don't have other clothes, I don't have hygiene to look prepared and professional for a business where I work and make money to eat food and to have health and medicine and to have rent paid, and honest to gosh, I don't know what else. I don't have a car, no family. Nobody who cares other than the people who get paid to care, health professionals. And little hope other than Mr. Governor Jay Inslee and all of the politicians in Seattle and all of the geniuses in the government.